Good morning. This is Tracy Shores on Walk With Me, and I think it's about 6 a.m. I woke without the alarm, which I typically do much earlier actually, but this morning it was 5:30, and I was just quiet there for maybe 5:25. I don't know. I was quiet there in bed, and I was just thinking through something that happened recently, and I was thinking about how God saw a need and he filled it. And I was thinking about his transparency and his directness and his approach. And I was thinking about the cross, and I was thinking about it was such a public display of wild, crazy love. And it was extreme and intense. I mean, we serve a God who is just over the top. He's an over the top God. What he did is amazing. And so I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to quickly, because I actually have not gotten into the word yet, but I wanted to quickly share a couple things that are just hopefully would encourage you. And so here is this coffee pot. And the cool thing about it is that I guess maybe 2 weeks ago, I was actually doing a video and I hear clink and I was like, oh, I have my coffee on the stove. And I totally destroyed my coffee pot. The handle just fell off. And anyway, I hadn't burned one in like 5-6 years. And I burned two in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. So that said, anyway, I had seen this really cool coffee pot back before Corona at the Perfect Blend coffee shop here locally. And Rachel was with me and I said, we're like, oh, because I just had a metal one. They're called Bleddies. And we were like, it was on the shelf. My friend runs the coffee shop, but she had made a little display with some t-shirts and things, and she had this coffee pot. And I said to Rachel, oh gosh, I love that coffee pot. I mean, that is the coolest thing. I hadn't seen one like this. And so lo and behold, I guess maybe that was, so maybe like 3 weeks ago, I must have gone to bed early, which I don't always do, but I think it was almost like 10 o'clock. This particular lady, my friend, comes by the house unannounced. I guess she knocks on the door and Hannah goes and she just hands her this. And so, anyway, I might have the timing. I think the timing might be wrong because it actually was just like a day or two after I melted the other coffee pot. And really that morning same kind of thing. I was laying upstairs and I was thinking, okay, I've got another one that kind of works, but it doesn't really work because the filter, anyway, it's a long story, and I was thinking, man, I was wanting to have my gorgeous coffee and I was like, I don't have all the tools. So, and they're just, they're about $40, but so not a crazy price, but I thought, wasn't able to get one just yet. And so I walked down the stairs and this is sitting on the counter. And honestly, I can't remember if I cried. I sort of I had joy and sadness at the same time to see what God would do for me. That he saw that need from afar. And he said, this is how I'm going to work it out to show you that I hear what you're asking me, Tracy. I hear you. And this has been a process with God and I of me trusting him again. Because there's things that I feel like I poured out to him and he and I were like this. And I felt disappointed in how things turned out with Michael. So just an amazing God's kiss. And so, and I've even, I don't know if I'm going to go, I'll see if I go into it, but I've even been thinking about in this whole dating thing that I'm doing, how you should be with someone who fills your cup, who fills your desires, who sees your need and fills it. And it's a strange place because I know that's in a marriage, but there should be signs in that relationship that person is seeing and needing, like the two are better than one. I mean, if it's not like that, even when you're out here, and you can't express all that because you're still in this friendship or whatever is happening in that relationship, but there should be that desire, both in that person and you, to do that for each other, and everyone is different in that area, and everyone has a different capacity and a different emotional availability. And so, anyway, I'm not going to divert there too much. We'll stick with God. He's so easy to understand because what he did was so wild for you. And so, but here, I guess, this envelope says $2,000, and it's marked with this date 5/26/88. So in a house we lived in, I am trying to think, this must have been, we've been here 2, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. We lived in this brick ranch house for about 5 or 6 years in Texas, and it had one of those just kind of like what I'd call like Kmart, back when Kmart, but Walmart mirror on the master closet door. And Michael liked to kind of pile his things, and because they weren't dirty, but they weren't ready to be folded, and put back in the closet. So I thought I need to put hooks there on the door. And I kept our money was really tight. I would see them and I'm like, it's $20, for this thing, the hooks that go on the back of the door. And so one day I was in TJ Maxx or somewhere, and I saw one, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to buy one. I'm just buying one. It was $20. I bought one because I liked it. It had like 5. That way, it's lots of places to put, it's everything that is sort of dirty. And I went home, and I proceeded to take that mirror off the wall, and this envelope dropped out. And I opened it, and in it were 20 $100 bills. And I was in a place in my life where I was really beginning to understand the Lord speaking to me in pictures and prototypes. And so I was like pulling the mirror. I had some of the screws off. I thought about that. I was looking in the mirror because my thoughts were immediately, I was like, it was spring. Actually, it was this time. It's so funny. I was thinking, I can go get, because I wanted to have a garden. I was like, we could get this, we could get that, we could get this. I was like, all these little household things that women love to have. I was thinking, new dish towels. I was like, I had spent the money 6 times over. But I stopped, and this is this legalistic side of me that said that, and I said, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. It was like, are you showing me a reflection of me that I'm so materialistic? I just want these things. I immediately thought, rather than like, what can I do to give back to God? Who can I help? I immediately thought, these are all these little things that I've been desiring in my heart, and I felt kind of guilty about it for a second. And literally the Lord spoke to me and said, this is not, Tracy, a reflection of you. This is a reflection of me. This is a reflection of who I am and what I do for you. And money was tight. Really, the money should just been put aside for bills. But I was thinking in my mind all the special things that I would do with it. And we did do some special things, and we did use some I gave the kids each a little bit of money, like mad money. And we did buy several plants for the side of the house. And I had fun. Every time I went, like Home Depot or Lowe's, I would say the $100 bills, I can't even remember who was on it, but they were special $100 bills. And people would look and they go, man, these things are old. And I would get to share a testimony, the blood of the Lamb, and a testimony about Jesus and what he had done in my life. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. But that was God's kiss, indeed God's kiss. And I received it. And so that said, I wanted to share with you a song that I've been listening to. And I stayed up dancing with the Lord till 1 o'clock last night. And the song says, behold, you have come over the hills, upon the mountains. To me you have run. My beloved, you captured my heart. With you I will go. You are my love. You are my fair one. The winter has passed and the springtime has come. And then it says, dance with me, O lover of my soul. And I was thinking about that line in particular. The soul is represented, they describe it as the mind, will, and emotions. And then it says, romance me, O lover of my soul. And, that's something I miss as a widow. My husband did romance me, but God has been trying to fill in the gap, and he's been doing these sweet things for me to romance me, the lover of my soul. And last night, I was tired, but it's a funny thing. It's not an obligation to do that before God. I want to do that, tired or not. I want to be with him. I want to be with him all the time. I want I want to express my love for him because he loves me so much. And I feel that love and I sense that love and I see that love every day in my life. And I can't help but give it back to him. I can't help but say, lover of my soul, dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me till after midnight, well after midnight. And tired or not, I bring you everything I have. So I just wanted to share that. And that's 10 minutes. That's too long. I'm sorry. But I hope this encourages you. Thanks for joining me on Walk With Me.